Hiring is the worst task. I think that's why it always gets pushed to human resources. But it doesn't have to be. If you don't know who I am, I'm Josh Lupter. I'm a fractional CFO and COO for construction subcontractors. I've hired, trained, and evaluated many people and teams throughout the industry. So in this video, I thought I would tell you the 4 obvious qualities that indicate if someone will be a good construction management hire or not. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're looking for more content on subcontracting finance and operations, please like the video and hit the subscribe button below. And with that, let's get into it. Number 1, attention to detail. This one seems so obvious, but how can you actually tell if someone has a high level of detail before you spend the time having them come to an interview? Their resume. Personally, I've never read an entire resume. Anyone could put words on a document and embellish their experience. So before I even look at the words, I look at all of the grammar, spacing, and format. Section by section, if one heading was larger than another, if there were 2 spaces randomly instead of 1, if words were misspelled, I would take note, but if there were more than 3, I'd move on to another candidate. That can seem extremely harsh, but being a project manager is crossing all T's and dotting all I's, making sure everything is done to the standard, even if someone else did the work, because they'll ultimately be accountable for it. If they aren't willing to pay attention to their own resume, I don't believe they could be trusted with reading every line off of a bill of material. Number 2, observe their time management. This might be a bit extreme, but I would check out the window to see how early people actually showed up. I wanted to see if they got in 20 minutes early to make sure they were on time for the interview, or if they're flying up 30 seconds before. If they show up on time to an interview, they'll be on time to meetings and hitting deadlines if they have the right training. Project managers are the client-facing extension of your business, and they need to be on time when they say they'll be. Number 3, how they treat people in the building. When a candidate would show up, I'd always have my door propped open and listen to how they spoke to the receptionist and anyone else that may have held the door open or walked by. The default of a quality candidate is a quiet confidence and being courteous to those who aren't of authority. If you don't have the ability to observe that before they come in, I would give them a tour of the facility and introduce them to the toughest people they'll be working with on your team. You'll get a sense pretty quick if they'll assimilate or if they're going to cause conflict. And number 4, their attitude on being a team player. My biggest pet peeve was a person that would say, "That's not in my job description." There are a lot of circumstances that aren't in the job description of a project manager. People who aren't too arrogant to take out their own trash or keep the break area clean won't be team players when your superintendents put time in wrong or your accountant is on vacation and your team needs help getting a check to a vendor. So I want to hear what you think. Leave a comment with what you look for in a construction manager. And remember, the only reason you started a business was to have financial freedom and less stress working for someone else. So stop the cycle and go thrive.